Very good, General. Both of you, excellent statements. I'm going to go ahead and start with you, General Hokanson. The biggest problem that we have, that I've seen and that we've experienced, is retention and recruiting. In fiscal year 18, we were not able to meet our goals. We got to 97.6%. And then in fiscal year 19, we had kind of the same situation. Now, it has to be more difficult now with what you've gone through with the COVID and all the word gets out. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of recruiting and retention has to be more difficult now than it was. So if we're unable to meet our goals in fiscal year 18 and 19, are you confident that something is changed and you'd be able to do that now? And if so, what is it?
Senator, thank you for the opportunity to address that important question. And Chairman, when I look at the National Guard, if you go prior to COVID, in February we had one of our best recruiting months in the past 5 years. And obviously since COVID-19, our ability for our recruiters to interact with potential recruits has been greatly reduced. However, we've really leveraged the internet and other social media to reach out to those individuals. Now, if you look at March, April, and May, in March we were still at 99%. April and May it descended below that. And so when you look at the remaining months of the year, July, August, September, they're usually our lower recruiting months. But from what I'm hearing from our recruiters, when they've seen the great work that our National Guardsmen have done with respect to COVID-19 and other events, they feel like that they'll be able to make up a lot of that, the shortages. However, it'll be close for us to get there by the end of the year.
Yeah, did you, you mentioned you met the goals in February. Did you do anything different then than you did subsequent to that?
No, Chairman, it's a continual. Well, we work with our marketing with both the active Army and Air Force, and looking at using social media to get in contact with potential recruits. Yeah. That's been very beneficial.
Okay, I do have another question if there's time, but I have a question for General Perna. You know, everything it's a very ambitious program that we're talking about doing. Everybody up here knows that, and people are concerned. You know, all of the expectations on the victory of this program are predicated on the assumption that we're going to have the necessary vaccine and all that by year end. And do you have, I'd like to have you kind of give us your assurance, if you have assurance that we're going to have it by then, and what that is based on. Would you do that for us?
Chairman, what I thought was an aspirational goal 30 days ago when I was announced by the President, I've recently come to the conclusion that it is more and more likely to occur. I believe this is so based on the updates that I've received and the partnerships that we're doing with industry. Their efforts to get out in front of this problem and their presentations to myself and Dr. Salawi have indicated that they do have the right formula to produce, to execute clinical trials, to mass produce for the nation, and then distribute accordingly. At this time, what we're still working our way through, of course, is that we must make sure that science leads us to our conclusions, right? And that we assess the risk accordingly so that we can determine the effectiveness of the vaccine, because it must be safe, first and foremost, and then effective. Once the trials are concluded and the FDA makes a decision, we will have better grounds to understand how much can be distributed and when.
Well, you know, General Perna, it's you know more about the progress that's being made than probably anyone at this at the dais up here, and so it's reassuring to me to hear that you are confident of that, and we thank you for that. Just one quick question for you, General Hokanson. These guys, they've been overworked now for the last 3 months. And have you learned anything from that gives you some hope that we'll have others wanting to follow in those footsteps?
Chairman, thank you for that question. And when I look over the past 3 months and all that we've asked our guardsmen to do and still perform all their missions overseas, I think they've proven that they're just a tremendous value to America, and they're some amazing American men and women in our communities have volunteered to do this. And I think going forward, their experiences, a lot of them have really appreciated the opportunity to help within their communities. I think it's going to help our recruiting and retention, and also I think it'll help retain them within our formations.
Well, that's good, and I hope that's right. And we love them all. Let them know that. Senator Reed.